Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, Conway crash result of missing gasket. Rolls-Royce getting out of the electric game. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Bley. Let's get into today's stories. Conway crash result of missing gasket. A Piper PA-28R-201 crashed in Conway, South Carolina on September 14, 2022, causing fatal injuries to two. The NTSB report reads, quote, "Shortly after departure on the first flight following maintenance, the pilot reported a loss of engine power. The pilot attempted a forced landing onto a gravel road, but the airplane impacted trees and power lines on final approach. The airplane came to rest against a berm, and a post-crash fire ensued," end quote. During their investigation, the NTSB found a good deal of engine damage, oil, and heat discoloration. Following the clues, they believe that the aircraft was returned to service while missing a vital part, despite two pairs of eyes supposedly assuring the work. An A&P had completed work on the Piper Aero-3, and it was signed off on by a director with inspection authorization. A review of the airplane maintenance records revealed that after a certificated airframe and power plant mechanic had completed the work on the airplane, the director of maintenance, an airframe and power plant mechanic with inspection authorization, signed off the paperwork to return the airplane back to service. The return to service entry stated that the vacuum pump had been removed, but did not address the installation of the drive pad gasket or vacuum pump cover, end quote. The report serves a sobering reminder to double-check your work if nothing else. And after the break, Bell Training welcomes 200 pilots.
I grew up in an aviation family. My dad flew airplanes and flew air shows actually, so ever since I was 3 years old, the only thing I've ever wanted to do was be an air show pilot. It's cliche, but I get to live my dream every single day. I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, the new Aerobatic propeller. It's increased the performance of the airplane. It's made the harmonics balance throughout the airplane so much better. By far the best aerobatic propeller that I've ever flown behind.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Bell Training welcomes 200 pilots. Bell Training Academy in Valencia, Spain welcomed around 200 students to training using its nifty facilities, its crown jewel being a fully certified Bell 429 Level D full flight simulator. The sim has been a hot commodity, with more than 1,000 hours logged this year alone. The school offers rotary wing students a chance to experience flight conditions that would otherwise be untenable in real-world operations, whether instrument weather, disorientation, or equipment failure. NBAA stresses importance of FAA reauthorization. A handful of GA advocacy groups have taken issue with the, quote, continued short-term extensions of authorizations for the FAA, end quote, telling Congress that they could, quote, challenge the certainty that industry and FAA depend on to enable long-term planning and investment in many critical areas required to ensure the safety of the NAS and America's global leadership in aviation, end quote. The FAA is only authorized through December 31st of this year, despite months of negotiations. Coulson Aviation granted $16 million contract with SoCal QRF. Coulson Aviation will station 3 of its Boeing CH-47 Chinook Very Large Helitankers, a Sikorsky S-76 Recon Helo, and full staff with Southern California Edison in support of their Quick Reaction Force. Since their first year contracting, the firm has flown over 700 hours, with 60% of that time logged at night under NVGs. Throughout the mission, they've dropped more than 4.5 million gallons of water on nearly 200 wildfires. Their Chinooks are equipped with their in-house Radzal delivery system, allowing 3,000 gallons of payload with a 90-second hover fill time. Boeing snags deal for 15 more Pegasus tankers. Boeing will build 15 more KC-46A Pegasus tankers under a Lot 10 contract awarded by the USAF to the tune of $2.3 billion. Those new aircraft will join the USAF fleet of 76 of the type already delivered. At the moment, the fleet boasts 153 of the refuelers on contract around the world to various clients, and the more hours they rack up, the more trustworthy they appear to would-be customers. Earlier this year, the USAF awarded a Block 1 upgrade contract to the firm.
Skyleader Aircraft offers a lineup of the most powerful, durable, and efficient light sport aircraft in the industry. From trainers to roomy cockpits for long hauls, Skyleader has an aircraft for you. And the best part? They're in your budget. Skyleader's base prices are set low to give you room to customize your aircraft to your needs, desires, and wallet, allowing you to put your money where it matters to you most. Visit flyskyleader.com today to learn about our aircraft, customization options, and chat with the team.
Well, that's it for today's Tripper on the Patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Rolls-Royce getting out of the electric game. Rolls-Royce's recent strategy release showed a minor pivot in the firm's plans to shore up its cash base over the coming years, even to the point of selling off their electric aviation wing to third parties. Chief Executive Tufan Erginbilgic said, quote, "We are creating a high-performing, competitive, resilient, and growing Rolls-Royce that will have the financial strength to control and shape its own destiny. In civil aerospace, we will focus on the wide-body commercial airline market and business aviation, where we can leverage the value from our Trent and Pearl engine families while investing for the future with our world-leading UltraFan engine program." End quote. Most unusual in a field where competitors are constantly jumping into electric flight systems is that Rolls-Royce will bail on the game entirely. Quote, "We are also clear where we will not invest and reallocate capital to parts of the business where we can generate more value. We are today announcing a group-wide divestment program targeting gross proceeds of between £1 billion and £1.5 billion over the next 5 years, which do not form part of our free cash flow targets." End quote. He also clarified the firm will, quote, "only sell assets at the right time and at the right price." End quote. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.